I work as a special ed teacher. My student's condition is far worse than autism. I can never thank her enough for her perfect timing. When Trevor asked me about Chris, it brought up a lot of things I didn't want to think about. Dark things, about what he did to me, about what I wanted to do to him. I don't know, I told Trevor. He held my hand and looked at me. Then he said, "Sometimes there are bad people. I'm happy you're okay," and ran off to play with another kid. Like I said, he was a weird kid, and he didn't have autism. I don't know why, but that tiny, almost insignificant talk with Trevor took a weight off my shoulder that I didn't even realize I was carrying. But how had he known? I pondered that for weeks until yesterday. Trevor was unusually quiet most of the day, until we were walking to his oak tree at recess when he started crying. I asked what made him so sad. For a while he couldn't talk, but once he got his sobbing under control, he said, "I won't see you again after today." I freaked out. This kid knew things about me that my boyfriend doesn't know, that my parents don't know. What did he know about the next day? Another car wreck? Was Chris out of prison and looking for me? I stayed home today with my doors locked and didn't do any driving at all. At 2 p.m. I got a call from my school. There had been an accident. An old man had fallen asleep while driving and plowed through the field at recess time. Trevor was pulling leaves from his oak tree at the time. The car pinned him between the oak's trunk and the car's hood. He was dead before the paramedics arrived. As I sat at home, shaken by Trevor's ominous words and the tragic news of his accident, my mind raced with confusion and fear. It was as though a dark cloud had settled over me, and I couldn't escape the feeling that something truly sinister lurked beneath Trevor's strange demeanor. Hours passed, and my anxiety only grew stronger. I decided to confide in my boyfriend about the unsettling events involving Trevor, hoping he could offer some comfort or explanation. But when I began recounting the story, I noticed an eerie change in his expression. His eyes widened, and a cold sweat broke out on his forehead. With a trembling voice, he whispered, "I know about Trevor." My heart pounded in my chest as I stared at him in disbelief. How could he possibly know about Trevor when I hadn't even mentioned him to anyone outside of work? Before I could demand an explanation, my boyfriend continued, "You see, I used to work in a psychiatric facility, and Trevor was one of our patients. But he wasn't just any patient. He was something else entirely. He was the subject of a covert government experiment. The facility had been conducting a long-term study on the development of unconventional human abilities, aiming to harness these powers for undisclosed purposes." My boyfriend went on to explain that Trevor's unique talent wasn't supernatural, but the result of years of conditioning and manipulation. Trevor had been trained to read people's behaviors and predict their actions with remarkable accuracy. He could uncover their deepest secrets by observing subtle cues, a skill that had been honed to perfection through a series of unethical experiments. I was left in disbelief. I don't know who I can trust anymore.